Anyway, let's now get to exposing Jake Paul and his lies about how he was trying to carry him. Because we've got some verbiage here. This happened after. This was in the post-fight interview in the ring. This is what he said initially. Initially, he said this.
Amazing group of people, and it's just an honor to be in the ring with all of them.
Did you try to knock him out?
Man, I was trying to hurt him a little bit, you know. I was scared that he was going to hurt me. I'm trying to hurt him, but, you know, I did my best. I did my best.
Mike, could I ask, do you want to do this again, or are you officially done now?
I did my best. I was scared that he was going to hurt me. I'm trying to hurt him, but...
There you go. I was scared he's trying to hurt me. Yeah? That's the actual... You can sit there and say he was carrying him. The actual reality is, from what I saw, the way he was running in there with a massive ring. You don't book the biggest ring possible, people, if you're not scared to death of a 60-year-old man. You do not do that. You say, I'm skilled enough. True skill isn't having a ring. People, if you made a ring that was 100 feet, Shakur Stevenson would never lose. Because he'd just touch you and whoop, and run a marathon. He'd touch you once at the start of the round and just backpedal the whole way. That's what he'd do. And he'd never be beat. So the size of the ring does matter. The size of the ring dictates how many phases an aggressive fighter needs to get you to the ropes. Yeah? If you're in a 24-foot ring and the guy's running, you need about 3 phases to cut the ring off. You need to go in and slip again. And you can't do that at 60. This ring should have been smaller than normal, not bigger than normal. Should have been a 16-footer or an 18-footer. And that's what I noticed in the Roy Jones fight. The ring was much smaller. And that enabled Mike to just basically do one phase and he'd be at the ropes. I didn't even know that, to tell the truth, I didn't even know. Not that it would have stopped me doing anything I did, but I didn't even know that the ring was 24 feet. Let's have a look. I think the normal was 20 foot. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but it makes all the difference. And that's what we saw. Every time Mike would try and approach, Jake Paul had a bunch of options to run away from. And that shows a lot about him. Yeah? He don't know how to. He should have been saying, okay, Mike, you're fit 60. I'll just stand here and just suck in and bang off to your body. He didn't do that. Didn't do it at all. If any time Mike put him under pressure, Jake Paul was back in his box. And that's ultimately what stopped Jake Paul stopping Mike Tyson. The head movement and the fact that Mike touched him maybe once or twice around. Jake didn't want to know anymore. He didn't want to know anymore. I don't really remember once him standing there. Mike looked shocked a bit. Mike was like, he was like this, all discombobulated, and Jake Paul just was still slapping him. He couldn't do nothing, man. You couldn't knock out a 60-year-old man. He's bad for fake Paul. He's bad for him. Anyway, let's get to this thing here. So you've heard that. Immediately after the fight, he says, I didn't want to. I was scared he was going to hurt me. And then he's obviously had time to think about it now. Yeah, by the time the post-fight press conference starts, he's had time to build a narrative. Because he realises it looks bad. What he doesn't know is that we all heard the corners. We all saw the shots as well. Go back and watch it, people. The way Jake Paul was loading up and winging that hand, if it had clipped Mike, he'd have been knocked out. That's not someone going easy. Yeah? Anyway, here's the fake news.
It didn't faze me, and I just felt at home just because I'm on the path of riding my destiny. And when you're really close to God and on the path of your destiny, you just feel everything so much more, and you just know what's going to happen ahead of time.
Round 3, Mike seemed to be running out of gas a little bit. You were working the jab really well. At any point, did you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you noticed he was tiring out?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit. You know, I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
Did you feel Mike's power at all?
No.
You didn't feel his power? Why was the ring 24 foot, fake Paul? Why was it the biggest ring ever in the history of the game, fake Paul? Exactly. Oops. Yeah, if I'm not scared of someone's power, I'll put the fight in a phone box. So I'll just suck in there. Ba-ba, ba-ba. Yeah, right? That's what you do when you're not scared about someone's power. Well, even if you booked a massive ring because you're prang, once you get in there and don't feel his power, you're not running and clinging on to a 60-year-old man. Showing levels. I'm not saying if you were arguing, oh, Jake Paul could have took his head off. I think if Jake Paul had balls, he could have took his head off, but he don't. So he didn't. That's what actually happened. Yeah? And if Jake Paul was showing levels, Jake Paul could have shown us that he could have took Mike Tyson's head off. How you do that is, Mike, I'm going to stand here stuck in the mud, and you're so old and shot as he was, you can leap in with your left hook, and I'm just going to stand here and touch your body and ping off and make you look silly. Jake Paul didn't do that. He was running and clinching anytime Mike got close. That's not someone who's in control and taking his granddad for a walk. It's not. That's someone in there actually having a fight. He was having a fight with Mike. Yeah, he was having a fight with Mike. He was blowing. And that's why he makes this excuse here. Listen to this.
On his own boss.
And two, he won't do it. He knows better. He might.
That kind of went away as the rounds went on.
You want to talk about the last 3 weeks at all? I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
important to share.
Yeah, I 22 days ago, I completely sprained my ankle, completely tore the ligament, anterior ligament, and like contusion, snapped the other side of my foot. Was on crutches for 4 or 5 days, and it just hindered the end of my training camp.
Yes.
I don't know how it didn't get leaked or anything like that, but it just made everything mentally more difficult to go into the ring with a sprained ankle, having to tape it up, and I missed about 2 weeks of sparring, so I really only sparred 1 or 2 times before this fight, and that's why my cardio didn't feel as good in there tonight. But you just roll with the.
Make your mind up. Yeah? People, if you're taking someone for a dog walk, taking old Mike, ancient Mike, for a dog walk, what do you need cardio for? Just in there flowing and having a laugh. Why are you making excuses? Oh, I couldn't. Make your mind up here. Were you taking him for a walk, or were you blowing and going 50-50 life and death? I put to you, and anyone else who's talking rubbish, he was going life and death in there. Life and death. You don't cling on for dear life if you're comfortable, people. That's a fact. You don't run around the ring. That's the only thing that saved Jake Paul, essentially, was the fact he could run hard. Literally running, galloping away, scared to death. That's legitimate. I'm not even capping. I'm not even doing it for, oh, you're emotive. No. He actually was. That's a fact. He's no good. Oh, I actually sprained my ankle in Tony. Sprained your ankle, man. And let's get rid of that narrative now about the sprained ankle bullshit. Number one, all of his sparring clips, his ankle looked fine to me. He looked to me like he was doing a bunch of sparring, right? And if your ankle's that bad, do you know what you don't do? If your ankle's that bad, you don't run all night, right? That's the last thing you can do. We've seen people's ankles go whatever before in a fight. You're stuck in the mud now. Time to fight now. I'm standing right here. I can't move my ankle. Right? If your ankle's that mashed up, you can't gallop and pivot and roll and clinch, and you can't do that. So make it make sense, people. He's making excuses why he went life and death. I ran out of gas because my ankle was gone. No, you ran out of gas because you're no good. And 60-year-old Mike had you on skates. Fact. 60-year-old Mike had you on skates. And Mike was shot to pieces. And I did say at the time, I saw signs he looked a bit, but I thought there was enough there. And what I didn't know was the ring was going to be the biggest ring possible, which enabled Jake to have so much more room to just constantly move, and Mike would have to work even harder to get him to the ropes. And if you watch Mike Tyson, let's have a look. I want to see what the ring sizes was. So Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was actually 24 feet. Let's have a look at Tyson versus Jones ring size. I think that was notoriously small as well. Whoa. Let's see if it's on here. I don't even know. What is there anything about the information so opaque? for these times, like. Let's have a look. Ring. Well, essentially, people. This ring was tiny. This one was. This ring was tiny, to be honest. Roy Jones had hands more than Jake, which gave Mike opportunities. Jake was literally using the fact he's 27 and taller. That's how he boxed. Running, using all of his advantages, which is not what you'd do if you're having to move around. And really, what he said, I wanted it to be exciting. Well, Jake, if you want it to be exciting and you was in complete control, just tuck up and let Mike whack your arm. Make it entertaining. You wasn't that. You're right. You weren't in that much control, was you? Oh, I'm in so much control. I'll just let Mike whack me on the arm. I got him. He's so slow and his knees are so short. I'll just catch it and you know what I mean? Make it a bit interesting. No, you was running is what you was doing. So don't let me hear no one else talk about, oh, IB. I think it was Tunde saying, oh, YB. Oh, not to me, but on his thing. It was scripted and Jake was put in there to have a move around. Bugging. You're giving him too much respect. Too much respect.